after the New England Patriots New York Jets game. Man, the Jets got absolutely dominating fashion. Absolutely dominant. They looked really good tonight, and the New England Patriots came back down to earth. Right? The Patriots, we all thought they were going to be pretty terrible this year, and man, they looked terrible tonight. The Jets dominated this entire game for sure from the beginning to the end, 24-3. Crazy performance from Aaron Rodgers, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Patriots offensive line looked banged up, and we saw Drake May for the first time, and he actually didn't look too bad, guys. Didn't look too bad at all. Pretty solid performance from Drake May in limited action, 4 for 8, 22 yards. A couple of throws, he was under a lot of pressure. He was sacked twice and only 8 dropbacks. Man, the offensive line for the Patriots was horrible tonight. 7 sacks, oh my gosh. But Aaron Rodgers lit it up, 27 for 35, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Typical Aaron Rodgers fashion tonight, guys. He looked great. He looked absolutely incredible. So we're going to go over all these week 3 games. Sorry, guys. Yeah, man. Got the new Bobby Boucher, just got it. Yeah, man. In honor of them shooting Happy Gilmore, too, I had to get myself a Bobby Boucher jersey. So, yeah, we're going to talk about these games for week 3 as we're getting closer and closer to Sunday. A lot of good games this week, guys. A lot of good games. We're going to really find out what teams are for real this week. We got the Broncos and Buccaneers. I'm really leaning towards Tampa Bay as being like a major factor in fantasy this week. Yeah, the Bills, man. They got a Monday night against the Jaguars, in my opinion, right? So, yeah, we got the Bobby Boucher jersey on tonight as we get ready for an incredible week 3, guys. I'm really excited for you to tune into this episode where we talk about these games. Buccaneers at home, 6.5-point favorites. I like that, man. Denver Broncos just lost their right tackle to IR. And that offensive line has been having trouble protecting. Just got worse. The Buccaneers have been looking great. They stole from. Hello, Matt from CarMax. I'm good. I'm a Lexus guy, man. I'm not into the Volkswagens. I'm a Lexus guy through and through. But yeah, this Buccaneers team looks really, really good. I'm hoping the right tackle Godecki can play in this game. If he plays, I'm gonna put I have 7 survivor picks left. I might go 4 of them with the Buccaneers. I just think they're gonna absolutely dominate this game against the Broncos on the road. I really, really like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this spot. Godecki is still questionable, but he was seen at practice today. So hopefully he plays. The Denver Broncos are definitely banged up if you look at their injury report, guys. So I'm really leaning heavy on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win that game for us in Survivor this week. Man, that Chargers-Steelers game is going to be absolute fire. I'm leaning towards the Steelers because I just think the Steelers have more ways to win. They got Pickens, who's a legit number 1 wide receiver, right? If the Chargers are unable to run the ball, they don't have that true number 1 wide receiver that can be good against this Steelers defense, in my opinion. I mean, that's all the Chargers can do is run. Run. They have no pass game. I just bought a brand new Lexus this year, 2024, so I'm good. You want to talk football? Leave me some comments. If you're going to plug some used cars, You got to be gone, brother. Yeah, I like the Steelers at home as well. They're playing at home. Yeah, I mean, the Chargers haven't played anyone good yet. This is a huge test for a roster that I don't think is very good. Joey Bosa is questionable in this game, guys. So the Broncos had to put Mike McGlinchey on IR. So Alex Palsawecki is going to start at right tackle, second-year guy. I don't think he's played too much. So I like the Buccaneers, man. I'm going to go hard with the Buccaneers in week 3, I think, for Survivor. Next up, we got another good game, another 6.5-point line. Giants at the Cleveland Browns. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I mean, Bryce Young's not a very good quarterback, but either is Andy Dalton. You know what I mean? There's a reason why he's a backup in the NFL, and backing up Bryce Young at that. They'll probably be a little bit better. But like, could they rally around him and potentially upset a not so good Raiders team? Maybe. You know, I do like Adam Thielen in Carolina, and they brought over Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh Steelers. So I don't know. And this Xavier Legette guy who they drafted has kind of been MIA. But is that because Bryce Young is just not very good, or is it because, you know, he's not very good? We'll have to see how that works out. Yeah, I don't see them being any better. I mean, the offensive line, like the additions that they had on the offensive line, guys, like, hasn't really done much. Bryce Young has been under a lot of pressure, you know. Oh, yeah, that Cards-Lions game is going to be a lot of fun as well. Cards-Lions game coming in. Cardinals are +3 at home. The Lions haven't looked super great, you know. I'm an Eagles fan for sure. I'm from Philly. I got to rep my birds all day long. Man, the only thing that concerns me is like the Cardinals' defense is still not very good, right? So they put Jonah Williams on IR, the right tackle. So, like, look at that matchup. Aiden Hutchinson usually lines up on the left side, right? So it's all about matchups. Like, he went against the Buccaneers right tackle last week, and he absolutely dominated. He had like 5 sacks, right? So who's going to block Aiden Hutchinson? Yeah, I mean, the Eagles' coaching was horrible. Don't forget, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, Mike. Got to go with the Bobby Boucher jersey, boys. So if you look at the depth chart, so Jonah Williams is on IR, and then their backup, Kelvin Beachum, is also questionable for the game. So Aiden Hutchinson is about to eat again against this Arizona team. I like the Detroit Lions to win this game because who's going to block Aiden Hutchinson? Yeah, Will Levis looks terrible, Shannon. Like, I agree. He looks really bad. Really, really, really bad. And Will Levis and Coach Brian Callahan were on the sidelines. They're screaming at each other. It doesn't seem like the locker room is doing too well right now for the Titans. So the Packers as underdog is a great bet for me. Yeah, I think the Lions win this game for sure. It's going to be a close game. Louise, all right, I'll have to check that out. Louise and... Let me check that name out real quick. Thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate you. Luis Inacio. What's his name? Da Silva. The old man? Luis Inacio Lula. Oh, no. Let me see. And Luis Inacio Lula da Silva. He looks like an old-ass man. I ain't that old. Coming at me, bro. The dude's like 85 years old, man. How you going to say I look like an 85-year-old? What's going on with that, man? Thanks for the $5, Space Review. Appreciate you. What's up, Nico? Bobby Boucher. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens have not looked good, right? So, once their defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, left, right? He's gone. They lost a ton of free agents. Patrick Queen is gone to Pittsburgh. The Ravens' defense does not look the same. And if you look at some of the stats, they are one of the worst defenses in the NFL right now. They lead the NFL in passes, yards given up, the Ravens, right? So if Dak can attack them, I think that they're in play, man. I totally think they're in play. The Ravens, they're doing good against the run. They're only giving up like 90 yards, but per game. But passing wise, crazy, man. Caleb Williams, that whole situation with CJ Stroud trying to encourage him a little bit, and he didn't want to hear it at all. Caleb Williams is really immature, dude. And I think he's going to struggle in the NFL. He's really immature. And in my opinion, that's not a good look, man. CJ Stroud's trying to give you some pointers to keep your head up. You got this. Trying to build up your confidence a little bit. Just kind of rolling your eyes, half hearing him. That really annoyed me about Caleb Williams. But yeah, I mean, he hasn't looked good so far. But they play the Colts this weekend, right? And the Colts have legitimately the worst rush defense in the entire NFL. So if they can get the ball rolling with Swift running the ball, have Caleb Williams doing some bootlegs and some play actions, they could get Caleb Williams rolling this week. Yeah, I mean, none of these rookie quarterbacks have looked good at all yet. Bo Nix hasn't looked good. Caleb Williams hasn't looked good. Jaden Daniels has looked okay, but they're not asking him to throw longer than 10 yards down the field. He's just dinking and dunking, and they're running the ball. He's running. Skylar Thompson, I don't know a lot about him. I don't think a lot of people do. But he's got weapons, but you got to remember the Dolphins' offensive line is not very good, right? So I think he struggles, and they're playing a really good defense this week. So it's going to be tough for Skylar Thompson to get the ball rolling this weekend. It might take him a little bit of time. I'm surprised that the Dolphins didn't go out and sign a veteran like Ryan Tannehill. That really kind of surprised me. But maybe they think Tua is going to be back in a few weeks. Because the hit he took wasn't that bad, but he was out. He was legit out. So it's scary, man. Concussions are no joke. Scary concussions, man. Definitely scary concussions. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what games are you guys looking forward to this weekend? There's a lot of fun ones. A lot of big lines this week. A lot of lines I'm crazy rushing to bet on, man. Not a lot of games I do like Pittsburgh as a bet. I love the Packers as a bet. I like the Steelers as a bet. That Houston is coming down and coming down. The Packers getting 2.5 points is crazy to me. I don't understand that at all. That Vikings-Texans game is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And the Texans didn't play particularly great last week against the Bears. But, yeah, the Seahawks should go 3-0. I'm thinking about using them for one of my survivor picks this week. But I love the Packers, man. And they said Jordan Love is questionable. He might actually play in this game this week, guys. So that's huge for the Packers. And they're plus money, plus 120 money line. 2.5 points is coming in around even. I was saying in some of my content earlier this week when the line was at 3 that it was a good time to get in. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. That Raiders-Panthers game feels a little trappy to me. I'm going to probably avoid that game this week for whatever reason. I'm getting bad vibes. The Bears are really banged up. I looked at the Bears depth chart today, and they have 100 guys that are questionable for this game this week. So I'm probably going to avoid playing or betting on this Bears-Colts game for sure. The same thing with San Francisco. Now George Kittle is on the questionable list. No Deebo Samuel. No Christian McCaffrey. The defense still should be really good against this Rams kind of Band-Aid offensive line, guys. But, man, I don't know. Then the Lions at Arizona is going to be fun. Arizona's getting 3 points. Yeah, I mean, the chances of making the playoffs, Renato, when you're 0-3 is like nearly zero. So 0-2 teams, it's only 11% of the time that 0-2 teams make the playoffs, right? So 0-3's got to be like 2%, especially in that division with the Browns and the Bengals and the Steelers. Good luck, man. Good luck if the Ravens go 0-3. The Bengals and the Ravens, it's must win. I know it's early. It's only week 3, but man, talk about a must-win game for both of those teams. Yeah, Baker looks great. I think Tampa Bay is probably my favorite pick this weekend for Survivor. I really, really like what they're doing. The Bengals and Commanders, I think the Commanders could possibly win that game. I think there's potential there for the Commanders to kind of get an upset. The Bengals have not been playing good. They're kind of playing unspirited. It looks like T. Higgins might be playing, though. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe the Titans are favorites right now. I don't understand that at all. I think towards Sunday, that line's going to be more even than not. But, man, I got some lines in at +3, so I'm really happy with that. Really, I got some solid bets in for the Packers to win us some cash. I got a parlay with the Browns and the Raiders. I'm going to cash that out because I'm not trusting these Raiders. And then the Jets and Buccaneers. It's going to be a tough game. I think the Lions haven't been playing great, but I love the Lions D-line against the Arizona offensive line. The right tackle's on IR. Their backup's not very good. And look what Aiden Hutchinson did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers backup right tackle last week. He had like 50 million sacks, so I think Tampa Bay eats. I love Tampa Bay. I love the Packers. Yeah, but like the Rams, you got to remember, like no Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp got hurt. They were on like their 6th, 7th, and 8th offensive linemen. The Lions' offensive line right now is 10 times better than the current Rams' offensive line. So the offense looked pretty good. They got weapons. Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner. They got a lot of weapons on offense, but they're going to have to score 30 points to win that game, I think. Right? They're going to have to score 30. I like when I make some more bets on the Packers this week. I love the Packers. I like the Packers. I got a nice little parlay, like dollar parlay. I got Vikings, Packers, Commanders, Falcons, Saints for $1 to win $80. Not too bad. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But that Rams offense was like 3 and out the whole game, so the Rams defense got super tired. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the Bengals, I've watched a lot of their football this year, and they haven't looked good. Dude, they lost to the Patriots in week 1. And look how bad the Patriots looked right tonight. And then they didn't play good. Like, the Kansas City Chiefs did everything they could to lose that game. Like, Mahomes threw 2 picks. They did everything they could to lose that game, and they still won. And Jaden Daniels hasn't been turning the ball over. The defense has been playing a little bit better than people are expected. Dan Quinn's a really smart defensive head coach, right? And, the Bengals are really missing Joe Mixon. And for the Texans, he might not play this week. So if you're thinking about betting on the Texans, wait to see if Joe Mixon plays or not. Because if he's out, the running game is going to suffer a little bit for sure. I mean, the defense looks pretty good, man. If they could figure out a way to get Hassan Reddick signed, and Aaron Rodgers is really good at like figuring it out as the season goes along, figuring out what weapons he can use in certain situations. He looked really comfortable tonight against a pretty good Patriots defense. He ate them alive all night, and he left some meat on the bone too. So I think that division is up for grabs, the AFC East. No way. The Saints are going to run the ball down the Eagles' throat. They're putting up 30 against the Birds. Book it. 30 points they're going to score against the Birds. Yeah, their defense is trash. That Eagles defense can't stop the run at all whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, the Jets look really good. They got some weapons. Aaron Rodgers still looks good. Oh yeah, man. That's one thing I do. If you follow my content, I keep it real, 100%. I'm not one of those crazy fans that like my team is the best team ever. I watch a lot of tape. I watch every game every week twice from beginning to end with the condensed replays. I love them on YouTube TV and Sunday Ticket. I get to watch. You can watch the whole game in like 40 minutes, like every single play. It's great. And the Eagles look bad. The defense, and it's not like the Eagles have a bunch of guys hurt and they're going to get healthy and get better. Their defense is just not very good. They have no pass rush. They have some of the worst linebackers in the NFL. Darius Slay looks old and pretty cooked. And the rest of their defense is really young, inexperienced guys. Yeah, Titans, it's tough, man. I do like Brian Callahan, though. I'm a big fan of his. I think even if they stink this year, he's going to get that team in the next few years moving in the right direction. He doesn't take BS from these guys. He coaches them tough. I really, really like Brian Callahan. I think he's going to be a good coach. I'm a huge fan of his. That Chiefs-Falcons game is going to be interesting, too, because the Chiefs' defense has not looked as good as it did last year. It's not the same defense. They do not look as good yet. Missing L'Jarius Sneed, who's now with the Titans, is a huge loss for that Steve Spagnuolo defense. And we got 2 Monday night games this week, guys. We got the Jaguars and Buffalo, and then we got Commanders at Bengals. Yeah, I'm not sold on the Falcons, man. The Eagles just played really bad. I'm not sold on the Falcons. Kirk Cousins is so, immobile in the pocket, man. He just sits there. And if you blitz him and don't give him all day to go down the field, that's the Eagles' problem. Why would they go into that prevent defense and let Kirk Cousins just, scan the field and pick you apart? The dude can't even barely move. You got to blitz guys like that. You can't let guys like Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins sit back in the pocket in a prevent defense. They're going to eat you alive all day long, and that's exactly what happened to the Eagles. I know, man. That game was so hard to watch. I lost 3 years of my life watching that game. It was that hard to watch. What's up, Ty? I think that Lions-Cardinals game is going to be very, very close, right? So, for me, it's all matchup based, right? Who is going to block Aiden Hutchinson on the Arizona Cardinals offensive line? They don't have anyone that can block him. No one at all whatsoever. They're starting right tackle, Jonah Williams, who came over from Cincinnati. He's on IR, so you got a backup right tackle against Aiden Hutchinson. Look what he did to the backup right tackle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. He ate him alive. He could have got 8 sacks in that game. I think he got 5.5, something like that. Yeah, Bijan looked good because the Eagles can't stop the run at all. You could put me in the backfield, and I would average 4 yards a carry against this Eagles defense. That's how bad they are. Yeah, they looked so good. The Saints have looked so good. Yeah, the Saints have looked great so far. They look like the cream of the crop right now. We'll see if it lasts. I still don't really believe in that offensive line long term. Bobby Boucher. I'm glad you like it, Brando. Yeah, I saw this online for $20, and it's a super nice jersey. All the patches are sewn on. $20. I was like, I got to get me one of those, man. I'm taking the Saints over the Eagles all day. All day. No A.J. Brown. No A.J. Brown and that horrible defense. I'm taking the Saints all day. I'm not even thinking about it. My mama said. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. How do the Eagles stop the Saints? How? They're not going to be able to. Yeah, I just don't see any way the defense flips the switch and then they automatically have a pass rush, and they can stop the run. It's going to be a problem all year. I don't think. I think the Hurts. I think so. Hurts threw an interception at the end of that game, right? But they should have never been in that situation. Terrible coaching and bad defense led him to throw that interception. Did he throw a bad ball? 100%. But he shouldn't have been in that situation. Yeah, the Saints beat the brakes off the Cowgirls at home, man. Beat the brakes off them. That's the first time the Cowboys lost a regular season home game in 16 games. Crazy. And they beat the brakes off the Cowboys. It wasn't even close. It was it was over fast. Alvin Kamara just ran the ball down their throat. Yeah, I've been saying that all offseason that the interior offensive line for the Ravens was going to be a problem. And that's huge for a guy like Derrick Henry who wants to run in between tackles where he's most effective, right? So I don't think this team is built to win right now. Letting Zeitler go to the Lions was a huge mistake by the Ravens. I think Jerry Jones needs to retire because they haven't been to an NFC Championship game in 30 years. Like, Jerry Jones is like 80 now. They haven't been to an NFC Championship game since he was 50. Like, the last time they were at an NFC Championship game, I was like 6. I'm releasing your freaking vids. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Sean, P. Diddy, how you out of jail, man? How you out of jail watching my stream? But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning into the live stream. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer to 9K, man. We're approaching it. Other people's lives can want to talk about. Then leave. Know what's making you come here. If you don't want to talk about football, peace, bro. Peace. Deuces. If you don't like it, hit the road. Yeah, Brando, the Ravens' offensive line has not looked in sync yet. Could they get in sync as the season goes along? Maybe, but they haven't looked good so far. And they only have one good wide receiver with Zay Flowers. They're like relying too heavily on Zay Flowers is getting too many targets. They're relying too heavily on Lamar Jackson's legs. He's going to get hurt again. Watch. Like, what kind of person has a life where they want to go onto someone's live stream and be like, why are you talking about football? Like, what are you doing with your life that you got to go do this? People are so weird. I don't know. Drake May showed a little flashes tonight. Yo, rebound sessions. Go peace out, bro. I forgot more about football than you will ever know in your entire life. Yeah, I think it's time to put Drake May in and just let him play. I think you got to go put Drake May. Just let him play. Let him get his lumps. Let him try to figure it out a little bit. Yeah, Brissett stinks, man. We're talking about football. Foosball. Judging what question? Because we're talking about football on a football channel? How's that even a question? Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate you, man. If you don't want to talk about football, maybe don't go on a football live stream, maybe. And I'm talking about football because I'm 5'8" and 165 pounds. So I can't play professional football. So I'm going to talk about it. Thanks, Brody. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, man, we're getting closer to 9,000K, guys. I really, really appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out the live streams, hanging out, talking ball. I try to get on these live streams a few times a week just to catch up with you fools, talk some ball, try to win us some money this weekend. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, man, there's some games that I really like. I like the Bills over the Jags. I think that's easy money. I do like the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks-Bills is a good parlay. Let's see what the Seahawks-Bills juice is coming in on. I'm an Eagles guy, man. What up, doofus? Eagles, man. Born and raised in Philly. I'm living in LA now, but I can't like the Rams. Birds all day. You think Huntley starts? From what I've been reading, it looks like Skylar Thompson's going to start. So what was the parlay I was talking about? Seahawks and Bills. Seahawks Bills parlay coming in at plus 106. So you're getting pretty much even money. Let's do a Bills Seahawks. Two home teams. Just placed a bet live for you guys. Why? What team? What team are you? K355. What team you like? Well, I live in California. You can't use DraftKings sports books or like FanDuel, so I got to use Bovada, unfortunately. But the Raiders, like, I don't know, man. With Andy Dalton, sometimes when there's backup quarterbacks, remember when Ryan Fitzpatrick used to come in and play? He would just get hot for a couple weeks and like beat good teams. And I'm scared that's going to happen to the Raiders this week. So I think I'm going to avoid Andy Dalton and the Raiders this week. I don't know. I know. Have you been watching the Stream Boomers? I said that the Saints are going to beat the brakes off the Eagles this weekend. The Jags don't look good, man. They haven't been playing well. I think Trevor Lawrence is overpaid, and he's not very good. They paid him all that money for what results? Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the Raiders should win this game at home, but I'm just getting bad vibes, man, so I want to stay away from that. Oh, yeah, thanks, Joe A. Yeah, man, I saw this on Amazon. They're like really nice jerseys, dude. The patches are all sewn on and pretty sweet. Everything's sewn on patches. 16 bucks. You can't beat that, man. But we'll see. I mean, the Panthers' defense is really bad. So I look for the Raiders to just try to run the ball down their throat, do some play actions to Bowers and Adams. They should win that game, for sure. Yeah, we'll have to see. Like, I usually do all my big videos on Fridays for my members and my members only stuff. Like, I do my bets for members only, I do my survivor picks members only, and daily fantasy because I want to see the injury reports on Fridays. Julian, you want some of this, bro? You want some of this? You want some of this, bro? Yeah, my whole life, dude. I'm taking you down. I'm taking you down, Julian. I'm taking your back, locking up that choke and putting you to sleep, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think the Raiders should win, for sure. But sometimes when those backup quarterbacks come in, it rallies the locker room, and then the Raiders come in a little flat like they did against the Patriots, thinking they were going to win the game. They come out flat, and then they get upset. It happens all the time, man. I'm scrolling through these comments. Give me a sec, guy. Pablo, the backup quarterback is Kenny Pickett. He started for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. Yeah, Kenny Pickett's okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in him. He was just, I don't know. He didn't look too good in camp. I'm rolling with Jalen Hurts, especially like that. The Eagles' offense changes so much when they don't have A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is just so good. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Mitsuri. I agree with you. But like, I just like there's better spots. I feel like Tampa Bay over the Broncos at home seems like a better spot than I don't know why. I'm just getting bad vibes. The Raiders are like so hit and miss. They played great in week 2, and then week 1 they played like trash. So it's like I don't know who the Raiders are yet. Yeah, Pablo, you're 100% right. Jalen Hurts is a pick machine. Then lay it down, man. You're getting K355. You're getting good juice. Plus 200, $1,000 bet wins you 2 grand. So if you got the cojones, lay down that cash, bro. Yeah, the Broncos look really bad. They just lost their starting right tackle to IR. I think the the Buccaneers and that blitz heavy defense, they're probably going to eat Bo Nix alive. He doesn't look good. He's looked pretty inaccurate with the football. Yeah, Josh, I agree. I don't think the Raiders know who they are either. Yeah, Mike, I agree with you too about. I think the Bills win that game. The Jaguars just haven't looked good. They couldn't even beat Deshaun Watson. So for me, the Texans Viking game really depends on if Joe Mixon plays or not. If there's no Joe Mixon and Nico Collins is questionable too, so I gotta see how the injury report plays out. But the Vikings have been playing really good football, man. I mean, C.J. Stroud's like the best football player in the NFL, man. He's so good. Yeah, Doug Peter. Like I was saying that on my channel last week that like Doug Peterson is getting. He's about to get fired. If they don't like win 8 or 9 games this year, he's getting fired. Yeah, man, the Giants are a mess, unfortunately, guys. Yeah, it's it's hard betting against C.J. Stroud, but I could see the Vikings winning a close game because Houston didn't play too well last week, unfortunately, against the Bears. They still got the dub, but Jason Wolf, I like the Seahawks too, man, this week, especially playing the Dolphins with no Tua. Yeah, I like the Seahawks, man. I like the Seahawks to win that game. They're giving them 4 points. I think they cover the spread probably too. I don't know. Sirianni just has been he's been losing the Eagles more games than winning them. He just makes dumb decisions like not kicking the field goal and going for it on fourth down in the first quarter. And then there's another field goal opportunity and then you kick the field goal instead of going for it. Like I don't understand he has no identity as a head coach. And most head coaches you either want a really good play caller like Shanahan or McVay or a really good defensive mind, right? And Nick Sirianni sucks at calling plays, and he doesn't know anything about defenses. So, like, I don't get, I don't understand him as the head coach, personally. The 49ers and the Rams are both so banged up. George Kittle might not play now. He came up on the injury list today. No Christian McCaffrey, no Debo. And then the Rams, no Puka Nakua, no Cooper Cup. I mean, it's kind of a coin flip game. I think the 49ers defense is going to do well, so I'm leaning towards the 49ers, but I don't want to bet on that game. There's too much going on. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is kind of a little bit of a diva, man. He needs to just like stop acting like a 5-year-old. There's a reason why his entire family doesn't talk to him. That's because he acts like a 5-year-old. Like, you're 40 years old. Just grow up. Just give your coach knuckles and then go to the sideline and start reviewing the plays. I think Aaron Rodgers is a bit of a baby. Yeah, I like the Browns to win that game. I just don't trust Deshaun Watson, man. But you got to remember, Pablo, the Cardinals played a Rams team that was decimated by injuries. They were signing people off of other people's practice squads just to fill out the roster for that game. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is always he's such a baby. He annoys me. His whole general essence just gets on my nerves. I like the Browns to win that game. The Giants have been really, really bad. But the Browns have a really good defense, right? But that offense is just snoozy. Yeah, I mean, they've only played 2 games. They won one, they lost one. The offensive line is not the problem. It's the defense, man. Their defense is terrible. The Eagles' defense, the offensive line looked great against the Falcons. Hurts only got sacked 1 time. He was very efficient with the football until that last play interception. Their defense is their defense is terrible, man. They can't stop the run. They can't tackle. They're missing assignments. They're just doing a lot of stuff bad. Yeah, I mean, losing a guy, a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion, probably the best center we've seen in the last 25 years in the NFL, you know, it's tough to lose a guy like that. Ty Daddy, I appreciate you, man. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you, bro. The Bears Colts game is going to be really, really close. I want the Bears to win, but Caleb Williams has looked terrible. But the Colts have their rush defense is even somehow worse than the Eagles. They've given up almost 500 yards on the ground in 2 games. DeForest Buckner's hurt too. He's not playing, so the pass rush isn't going to be there. I look for the Bears to win this game. To what, IXL? He said I should change the name of the channel. I'm open for suggestions, bro. Yeah, the Bears aren't very good. The defense is pretty good though. Yeah, Caleb's got a very aloof, like laissez-faire attitude. I don't know how well that's going to bode for him. Yeah, the Colts look pretty good against the Texans in week 1, right? But then last week they looked horrible. Anthony Richardson threw 3 picks. They couldn't move the ball at all. It's got to be a little more creative than Beardman IXL. You got to do a little better than that. Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in. You're always here, man. I always appreciate talking shop with you, bro. Yeah, he's really inaccurate with the football, too. He doesn't like to throw in structure. And you saw DJ Moore's face. He wanted to kill Caleb Williams last week. It's tough, man. When you're getting open and your quarterback sucks at getting through progressions and not finding you. I'm wearing a Bobby Boucher football jersey, bro. What do you think it is? It's called the J All Day Sports Show. So if I had to guess what this channel is about, maybe sports. Maybe it's about sports, guys. Is it about sports? It might be about sports. Yeah, I'm trying, man. There's a lot of messages coming at me, bro. I'm trying, IXL. I'm trying to keep up with all the comments. Thanks, Joey. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, I mean, but like sometimes, like Peyton Manning was trash his first year. If you look at Peyton Manning's first year as a pro, he threw like 38 interceptions. So we got to give them a little bit of time. Football, Dan. It's a football show. I do mostly football. I mix in a little MMA from time to time. I talk about baseball mainly when the playoffs come around, but it's mostly football. I mean, he looked great. Marvin Harrison Jr. looked great last week. He got a little lost in the sauce week 1. But I want to see him against a better defense and see if he can get open on a consistent basis. He had some issues with separation in college, so I got to see more from Marvin Harrison Jr. No, I don't think you should sit him. They made the decision to play him, so you got to stick with that decision. Phillies, baby, all day. Phillies, man, all day. Yeah, he was terrible. Peyton was terrible his rookie year, man. Yeah, Dan, I do mostly football stuff. Most of my live streams, I like to come on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night after the games. I like to come and chat with all my subscribers and followers and just talk about the games and kind of get us ready for the new week. And, we have to watch tape if we want to do well on our bets. Last week was a tough week, a lot of upsets, but, it is what it is. The Rays are a great organization, man. They always have really low payroll, and they're always really, really successful. Yeah, playing quarterback at the NFL, you have to be obsessed. You got to be obsessed with being an NFL quarterback. You have to be completely obsessed. And if you're not, yeah, IXL, I'm going to pass on the Beard Man YouTube channel switch. I'm going to stick with what I got. Yeah, the Padres couldn't, I like the Padres, man. If they could pitch a little bit in the postseason, they could be all right. Yeah, Caleb Williams needs to take it a little more seriously. we'll see how it works out. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I did my 45-minute live stream. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button. I really appreciate you guys. All right, I'll answer a few more questions before I roll out. The Niners are a little banged up, but like, you feel bad for Rodgers? I don't ever feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. There's not a day in my life that I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. The dude's worth like $300 million. Jaden Daniels, Joe, they haven't really asked him to do a lot yet. Most of his passes are under 15 yards. They haven't put the team on his back and said, go win us a game. He's kind of running a little bit too much for me, in my opinion, but we'll see. He's still young. He's looked the best out of all the other rookie quarterbacks, in my opinion, so far. Rodgers, but he looked good tonight, man. The dude can still ball. He just gets on my nerves. But all right, guys, I'm out of here for tonight. I'm going to put out a bunch of new content tomorrow, a bunch of members-only content. So if you're interested in that, take a look in the description below. Dude, the White Sox 36 game wins. Oh, my God, so bad. All right, I'm heading out, guys. Peace. Good night. Appreciate you, Dan. Thanks for subbing. Have a good night, guys. Later.